Hello everyone, it's Mr. Dice here again, doing my next in a series of 3 home learning videos for you. I was looking around thinking of what we would have around the house to use to make some amazing artwork, and it suddenly occurred to me that we've got a ton of cardboard and brown paper everywhere. So I've devised 3 sessions, each one using cardboard and a bit of brown paper, and I'm going to show you how to work on 3 different levels. One is quite hard, one is sort of medium, and the last one, a bit like the 3 bears, is just right for younger ones. So without further ado, I'll show you a series of 3. So this is the first example, which is going to be it's not too difficult, but it is the hardest of the 3. And as you can see, it's cardboard, and we've got the tones of cardboard, so it's fairly flat without much colour in it. We've got the paper here, which is for the headdress. We've got eyes and nose, which are movable at the moment because I haven't stuck them down. Lips and some jewellery here, and this is I'll show you how to make it. It's of a young girl in traditional headdress. So for this activity you'll need some paper, which is a little bit bigger than an A4 size, so it's about size A4 or maybe A3 size, and just old brown paper that you found from somewhere, a piece of cardboard which I've just cut from a delivery package. You'll need a pair of scissors so that you can cut out. I've got a pencil and a thick pen which will help, and to make it slightly easier for ourselves, I'm going to first of all draw the shapes on a piece of paper that's roughly the same size as the card that I'm working with, but I'm going to cut out templates out of paper first of all to see if it works before I transfer that to the card, because it's much easier to cut paper and lose a bit of paper than it is for your card. So we're going to do first of all the shape of the face, and I'm going to start off with a chin. I'm doing this upside down, so I'm getting a little bit of help from the one I did before. And it's basically just an oval shape, and the chin down at the bottom like so. But if you want to use your pencil and just do an oval shape round and round like that, and then cut away these bits at the bottom so you can get yourself a nice chin shape. And then what I did, I sort of measured how wide that is, because the eyes are going to go here, and I'm going to use that measurement to help me see how wide and how long the nose is probably going to come down to about there. So I'm just doing little marks on the paper here. So I'm going to do the nose first of all, so I'm just going to do a little shape with the nostrils. That's going to come around like so, and then that should fit when it's cut out onto my face. And then I've got the lips. You could also do the lips going to come down about here, so I'm just going to mark those. I can always cut, if it's too small I can always cut that later on. So I'm just going to cut myself a pair of lips like so, that'll fit on down through there. Then all I'm going to do is I need to cut those out. I'm going to put them onto a piece of card. I'm going to cut them out, put them onto a piece of card, and then I'm going to cut the card out. So you'll have 3 pieces like so when you've transferred that onto the card and cut it out. I would try and find card that's not too thick, or if it is too thick, maybe once you've done the drawing, ask your mum or dad, or if there's someone else that could help you, to cut out that thicker card. Always remembering that when you're cutting, if you use this part of the scissors here, right in where the scissors join, that's the toughest part, and that's going to help you cut that thicker card. But this card is quite thin, as you can see. The card I use for the face is actually corrugated, so it's a little bit thicker. So what I did, I drew the face shape on paper, cut that out, transferred it onto card, cut those out, and so you should have those three pieces. Once we've got those three pieces, then we're zinging. So I'm just going to get rid of that template first of all. So this is the piece of card that I used on the other one for the background, and all I've done is I've used the lines of the corrugated card anyway, and I've drawn lines across with a black pen. If you wanted to, you could always add crayon to that. Wax crayon I find is really good for doing it quickly and using the side of the crayon. So you can use that, but it's quite nice to leave the background plain, I think. So once you've got your background and you've got your pieces, then what we're going to do is we're going to put that in the middle. That's going to go there, and this is going to go here. So what all I've done now is on the lips, I've used my black pen to make those lips darker, and I've used lines going down so that they look like lips. I'm just going to put two eye shapes on here, and I'm going to try and get them sort of similar sizes. I always think they sort of look like little fishes, don't they, when you do them like so. And then I'm going to put some above them. I'm just going to use this thick black pen. It's a Sharpie actually, so I've got to be a little bit careful. And I'm going to put the eyebrows on, and then I'm going to put the eyes, and then I think the eyes will probably look quite good if I colour those in, leaving a little tiny bit so it looks like the light's bouncing off of those nice round slightly damp eyes. So we're like so. So we've got our eyes on this piece of card like this, and then just to make it stand out, I'm going to go around the nose shape. I'm just keeping to the edge of the card here. So that's a little tricky, but if you press down hard, then that will be fine. So there we go. I've got the nose and the eyes, and I'm going to pop the nose and the eyes down like so. Now for this next bit, it's I'm going to turn it round so I can see it from my perspective, and you'll see it upside down for a little bit for the moment. So I'm just turning it round so I can see where it is. I'm going to position it right in the middle of my piece of board, and I'm going to put this piece of paper over the top. And then what I'm going to try and do is to wrap this piece of paper like almost like wrapping a present, but in a way that we create the lines of the cloth of the headdress. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top down, I'm going to roll the top down and fold it, and then roll the top back again to create that part of the headdress. It's a bit crunchy. And like any paper folding, if you fold it and crease it really quite carefully, then that's going to keep it in place. So just run your fingers and thumb along the fold. Now, this side is going to be quite a short side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it round like so. So I'm just sort of making a triangle. So trying to make a paper hat really. And this is slightly fiddly a bit. And I'm going to bring it around again. I'm just going to keep pushing that head. I'm going to I'll take off the eyes and the mouth so you can see. And then I'm going to fold that round again like so. It's almost like folding in a bit of a Cornish pasty, if you know what I mean. So I'm taking that round, and I've wrapped it around the top, and then I've done sort of triangles so that I've come round and covering most of that, the edge of that face now. Now this side is slightly different. As I bring that one around, I'm first of all going to do that triangle shape. And as I bring that round, which will cover the face completely, I'm going to fold that back on itself. So I'm folding that back on itself, so I've now got a flappy bit that comes across here, and that bit you'll see in a moment what we're going to do with that. So I'll just do that again. I've folded that from there into that triangle shape, and then that triangle shape I've put across the face, and then I've folded it back again so that most of my face is going to stay as it should do. And then all I need to do is I'm going to fold this bit down at the bottom so I get to where the chin is, and by folding that back again it gives me two separate pieces of cloth. I might just fold that one again like that. So you can see the lines then of, so what I'm trying to do is to enclose that face with this paper. And if you've got a little bit of Pritt stick, if you just put a little tack of Pritt stick or blue tack or whatever there, where these two bits meet, that will do you well. And then the last little thing I'm going to do is to, because this is like a fringed material, I'm going to cut into there to create that fringing. You have to be careful here that you don't cut too far in, otherwise it'll spoil. And then with that fringing, all I'm going to do is to push it up like so. So let's go back to as we were. That comes around like so, that comes around like so. And I'm going to put the eyes and the nose and the lips here. I'm just going to try and push that down as far as possible. If you need to, you can always cut. In fact, that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to cut some of this bottom bit away. If you need to trim anything, that's fine. So I'll just turn that round and show you what it looks like that. I'm just going to hold that down for the moment, and I'll go back to my original one now so you can see a little bit better. It's going to be different each time you do it, but basically we're after the headdress at the top here, a fringed bit at the side, these two almost like pleats or folds in the material of the headdress, eyes on show and lips on show. And I actually had these little tags that you pull off on some of the cardboard, and I've just put little dots and dashes on there to make it into a bit of jewellery. So there we go. I hope that makes sense to you. This is a little bit tricky, but it's worthwhile persevering with. And also, if it makes it easier, just use a little tack of blue tack or a little dab of Pritt stick or glue stick so that it keeps it in place. Brilliant. Well, I hope you have some fun with that. It is a bit tricky, but I think when you've got the finished article, it'll be well worth doing.